3 weeks ago, on a red-eye from Lax to New York, I watched a grown man. A guy in a bespoke suit who looked like he ran a hedge fund, absolutely lose his mind. He wasn't screaming about a delay, he wasn't upset about the food, he was having a full-blown meltdown because the flight attendant at the gate told him he had to check his roller bag. He had the perfect carry-on strategy. He had the expensive aluminum suitcase. He had his boarding pass ready, but he didn't know the one variable that airlines manipulate behind the scenes to ensure that roughly 20% of you fail before you even step on the jet bridge. He ended up banned from the airline over a suitcase. I've been flying globally for 15 years. My name is Benny. I've worked the galleys on everything from 747s to tiny regional jets. I've seen the evolution of travel from the Golden Age's remnants to the Hunger Games of boarding groups we have today. And I'm here to tell you that the carry-on-only cult, that group of people telling you to never ever check a bag, is lying to you. They are selling you a fantasy of efficiency that simply doesn't exist anymore. If you think dragging your life onto the plane is saving you time and money, you are playing a game that the airlines have rigged against you. Today, I am going to expose the dirty, stressful, and downright dangerous reality of carry-on travel that no travel influencer talks about. We are going deep into the psychology of the bin hog, the hygiene nightmare of the overhead compartment, and the legal loopholes you need to know when they try to force-check your valuables. Let's get real. The first thing we need to dismantle is the illusion of the standard carry-on size. You bought that bag because the tag said, "Airline compliant," right? It fits the dimensions, 22 by 14 by 9. You measured it. You're good wrong. Here is what the manufacturers aren't telling you, and what the airlines won't admit, until you are standing in the aisle blocking 50 people. The aircraft I'm working on today, it was built in 1998. The overhead bins were designed when people brought a briefcase and a hat on board. They were not designed for 180 passengers to each bring a rigid, four-wheeled hard-shell coffin. We call it bin Tetris, and we hate it more than you do. But here's the secret. Airlines have retrofitted the seats to squeeze in more rows, reducing legroom. But they rarely expand the bin capacity. They physically can't in many airframes. So, mathematically, if the flight is full, there is physically not enough space for everyone's bag. It is a game of musical chairs, and the music stops when Group 4 boards. This creates what I call gate panic. You know the feeling. You're sitting at the gate, and you see the gate lice. That's our industry term, sorry, but it's true, hovering around the boarding door before their zone is called. Why do they do it? Because they are terrified of mandatory checking. But here is where the manipulation comes in. Airlines know there isn't enough space. They oversell the bin space, just like they oversell the seats. They rely on the anxiety of the boarding process to get you to pay for priority boarding. Think about that. You are paying an extra $50 or $60, not for a better seat, not for better service, but for the privilege of storage. You are renting 12 cubic inches of plastic bin space for the price of a nice dinner. And the kicker, even if you pay, if you are the last person in Group 1, you might still get forced to check. I've seen it happen. I've had to be the bad guy telling a platinum member that the bin above his seat is full, because the guy in 14A put his coat, his duty-free shopping, and his guitar up there. This brings me to the US versus them dynamic of the boarding process. You think we are shouting at you to hurry up because we are rude. We aren't paid until that door closes. Let me repeat that. In the US, for most airlines, your flight attendants are working for free during boarding. That chaotic struggle where you are lifting a 40-pound bag over your head while hitting a grandmother in the shoulder? I am watching that for $0 an hour, so when I see you struggling with a bag that is clearly too heavy for you, I'm not just annoyed, I'm worried. Because if you drop that bag, and I see bags dropped at least once a week, you could break a passenger's nose. And if I step in to help you lift it and I blow out my back, I am out of a job. Workers' comp is a nightmare. That is why we don't lift your bags. It's not laziness, it's survival. if you can't lift it comfortably over your head in one smooth motion. It is not a carry-on. It is a checked bag that you are in denial about. Now, let's pivot to something that genuinely keeps me up at night. The filth. Everyone worries about the lavatory. You wipe down your tray table. Good for you. But when was the last time you sanitized the bottom of your roller bag? You dragged that bag through the airport drop-off curb. Spit, oil, exhaust, through the restroom floor, urine, across the terminal. Thousands of shoes, and then, you lift it up and shove it into the overhead bin. Here is the secret. We never clean the bins. In my 15 years, I have never seen a cleaning crew wipe out the inside of an overhead bin, unless there was a visible biohazard spill. I have seen diapers left in there. I have seen leaking takeout containers. I have seen a package of raw fish from a seafood market leak fish juice into the corner of a bin, which then dried into a sticky, invisible paste. Then you come along, shove your soft-sided fabric bag into that same spot. Your bag acts like a sponge. It soaks up whatever microscopic horror show was left by the last 300 flights. Then, you take that bag to your hotel. And where do you put it? On the bed. You are literally transferring the floor of a public restroom onto the place where you sleep. This is why I scream from the mountaintops. If you must carry on, never ever buy a soft-shell fabric bag. Hard shell only, and wipe it down with Clorox wipes before you bring it into your house. If you are using a fabric duffel, you are basically playing bacterial Russian roulette. If this is making you rethink your travel strategy, hit that subscribe button right now. I'm tired of the glossy fake travel advice out there. I want to give you the raw truth so you can protect yourself. Join the crew, and let's keep going. Let's talk about the gate check scam and how to beat it. This is the single most valuable thing I can teach you today. You are in Group 5, the agent announces. We are running out of space. We need volunteers to check bags to your final destination for free. Nobody moves. Then they switch to mandatory mode. Everyone from this point forward must check their bag. They point at you. They tag your bag. You watch your expensive camera gear, your medication, and your laptop disappear down the jet bridge. Hoping you see it again in Chicago stop. You have rights here, but you have to use the magic words. You cannot just say number, that gets you kicked off. You have to say, I have lithium-ion batteries and essential medical devices that cannot be separated from me. Federal aviation safety regulations, the laws that actually matter, state that loose lithium batteries cannot be in the cargo hold. If a battery catches fire in the cargo hold, the fire suppression system might not handle it, and the plane could go down. If it catches fire in the cabin, I can grab the fire extinguisher and put it out. So, if you have a portable power bank, a laptop, a vape pen, or spare camera batteries in your bag, the airline cannot legally put that bag in the belly of the plane without you removing them. Here is the play. When they try to tag your bag, you calmly say, there are non-removable lithium batteries inside. Or, if they are removable, you start the process of opening your bag to take them out. Usually, the gate agent is under so much time pressure to get the flight out. Remember, on-time departure is the only metric their boss cares about, that they will look at you unzipping your bag, roll their eyes, and wave you through just to keep the line moving. They will pick on the next person who looks like an easier target. Is it a guarantee number? But it works 80% of the time. You are using their own safety protocols against their efficiency metrics. But there is a catch. If you use this trick, you better actually have those batteries. Don't lie. If you lie and something happens, you are in federal trouble. But let's be honest, who travels without a power bank these days? Speaking of batteries, let's talk about smart bags. A few years ago, these were the hottest Christmas gift. Suitcases with built-in chargers, GPS trackers, motors that follow you around like a lost puppy. I have seen more people denied boarding over smart bags than any other item. If the battery in that smart bag is not removable, that bag is not flying. Period. I don't care if it cost you $1,000. I don't care if you are a Diamond Medallion member. If I see a bag with a battery that can't pop out, and the overhead bins are full, you are not getting on my plane. We can't check its safety risks, and we can't stow it. No space. You are stuck in limbo. I once had a young influencer girl sobbing at the gate in Miami because her riding suitcase, yes, a suitcase you can ride like a scooter, was rejected. She missed her cruise. All because she didn't read the fine print on the battery regulations. Do not buy gimmicky luggage. Buy a boring, high-quality, hard-shell box with wheels. That's it now. I want to address the personal item warriors. You know who you are, the people who try to bring a carry-on, plus a backpack, that is clearly the size of a camping rucksack, and claim it's a personal item. The airlines are declaring war on you. United, Frontier, Spirit. They are incentivizing gate agents to catch you. Some airlines actually pay agents a commission for every oversized bag they charge at the gate. You are not fighting a board employee anymore. You are fighting a bounty hunter. And even if you get it on board, look at what you are doing to yourself. You shove that massive backpack under the seat in front of you. Great, you saved $30, but now, you have locked your legs in a 90-degree angle for a 5-hour flight. I am a flight attendant, but I'm also someone who sees medical emergencies happen. Deep vein thrombosis, blood clots, is real. It happens to healthy people. It happens to young people. When you fill your legroom with a bag, you are preventing your legs from moving. You are cutting off circulation. I had a passenger collapse in the aisle 3 years ago. Pulmonary embolism. It started as a clot in his leg because he hadn't moved for 6 hours because he was boxed in by his own luggage. He survived, thankfully, but was the $30 he saved on a checked bag worth the ambulance ride? Absolutely not. Your legroom is not storage space. It is health space. Preserve it. Which brings me to the most controversial opinion I hold. The one that makes the one-bag travel community scream at me in the comments. I, Benny, with 15 years of packing experience. I check my bag. Yes, I check it. And here is why. There is a psychological cost to carry-on travel that we pretend doesn't exist. The stress starts the night before. Will it fit? The stress at the Uber? Will the driver be annoyed? The stress at TSA. Unpacking the liquids. The stress at the gate. Will I find bin space? The stress on the plane. Is that guy crushing my laptop? When I check my bag, I walk into the airport with a small backpack. I have my iPad, my noise-canceling headphones, a bottle of water, and my passport. That's it. I breeze through security. I don't care when I board. I can be the last person on the plane. I don't care if the bins are full. I sit down. I stretch my legs out because nothing is under the seat in front of me, and I go to sleep. But Benny, you say. What if they lose my bag? Let's look at the stats. The rate of mishandled baggage has dropped significantly with modern tracking tech. And if you toss an Apple AirTag or a tile in your checked bag, you know exactly where it is. I have flown thousands of times. My bag has been delayed maybe 5 times. It has never been permanently lost. And if it is delayed, that's not a disaster. That's a shopping spree. Most people don't know this, but if your bag is delayed significantly, the airline owes you reasonable expenses for interim purchases. I once had a bag delayed in Rome for 2 days. The airline had to reimburse me for new clothes, toiletries, and essentials. I got a free wardrobe update on the airline's dime. If you carry on, you get nothing but back pain and anxiety. If you check, you get freedom. But I know some of you are stubborn. You don't trust the system. I get it. Control is a hell of a drug, so if you are going to ignore my advice and keep doing the carry-on hustle, you need to do it like a pro, not an amateur. Here is the veteran loadout. This is how flight attendants travel when we are deadheading, flying as passengers. 1. We use soft-sided packing cubes inside a hard-sided shell. This allows compression. If the gate agent makes you weigh your bag, common in Europe, fake Asia, you can unzip the bag, pull out a heavy packing cube of clothes, and wear it as a jacket or hold it. They usually only weigh the wheeled bag. 2. We wear our heaviest items, the boots, the coat, the hoodies. You are the suitcase. You can take them off the second you get on the plane. 3. We use the duty-free loophole. This is a sneaky one. At many airports, a shopping bag from a duty-free store does not count toward your carry-on limit. It is considered airport merchandise. So, if you are overweight or have too many items, buy a cheap chocolate bar at the duty-free shop, ask for the biggest bag they have, and shove your extra overflow items in there. The gate agents usually can't say a word. 4. We never line up early. This sounds counterintuitive to what I said about bin space. But watch the pros. We wait until the line dies down. Why? Because standing in that queue for 45 minutes raises your cortisol levels. If I'm checking a bag, I sit. If I'm carrying on, I assess the gate agent. If they look aggressive, I consolidate early. If they look relaxed, I relax. Travel used to be glamorous. Now it is a logistical battle. The airlines have monetized your comfort and gamified your anxiety. They want you fighting your fellow passengers for bin space because it distracts you from the fact that they have shrunk your seat and taken away your food. Don't play their game. If you take one thing away from this video, let it be this. The goal of travel is to arrive at your destination, ready to enjoy your life. Not to arrive exhausted, sweaty, and angry, because you fought a war overhead bin. 14C. Evaluate what your peace of mind is worth. For me, it's worth the $30 checked bag fee. For you, maybe it's worth mastering the art of the lithium loophole. But stop traveling like a victim, travel like an insider. I've got a whole series coming up on the dark side of hotel hygiene, and why you should never use the coffee maker in your room. Seriously, it's vile. So make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss that. Fly safe, be kind to your crew. We are just trying to get home too. And I'll see you in the sky.